Welcome to the teachings of Ma'at, Stepping Out of the Matrix book study. This is our second book study. Welcome, everybody. Greetings. My name is Arcad Infinite. I'm the chairman, and we like to start everything out with our affirmation. You can read along with me, or you can say it to yourself. Unki in Ma'at, un-ns, nintet aset in Ma'at, men hapapet in Ma'at, her iku kui, per iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Welcome, everybody. That's our affirmation. We like to start out every class with our affirmation as well as end with that. So, welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Arcad Infinite, and I'm the chairman of this book study, this wonderful book study here. And I'm going to introduce our panel up here. First, I have the great brother Ahati Ma'at. Ahati Ma'at was taught under the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. He has been a serious student and teacher of the Kemetic culture and history for several years. He has written multiple books, including textbooks called Journey of Your Soul, essays, and articles. Furthermore, he hosts in person and online classes, weekly podcasts, and periodically creates documentaries. He also has experience in public speaking and academic debating. He is responsible for the creation of this weekly book study class, Teachings of Ma'at. Next in line, we got the good brother Scribe. Good brother Lamar Scribe Owens is a writer, poet, spoken word artist, audio producer and engineer, healer, spiritual advisor, consultant, and business creator. He is a master student of the Nitiru, a true follower and protector of Ma'at. A scribe of Tahuti and Ma'at, he studies under the master teacher, Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. For the scribe, quality always outweighs quantity. He always enjoys observing reality and incorporating these observations into his writings and creations to assist in awakening of dormant DNA and reversing negative hypnosis. It's the good brother scribe. Next, we have art. AJ specializes in training and educating youth workers, counselors, and educators about arts, culture, and history. He travels the world to experience how people live, and he shares it with everyone who is interested in learning from the research he has witnessed. AJ has a master's degree in entertainment and business media and has been working in the music industry with nonprofit agencies, providing program planning and promoting concerts and community events in Madison for over 30 years. During that time, he has facilitated the following innovative after-school programs for Madison School Community Recreation, which includes Hip Hop 101, Music Production 101, and MP4 music programs for youth. He is also the secretary of the Teachings of Ma'at and hosts this weekly study guide on YouTube. And I am Arcad Infinite. I am the chairman of the organization. I'm a student under the master teacher, the great Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. I am the host of this book study, and I am a true-hearted follower of truth based on ancestral artifacts over religious opinion, and I am a lover of my people unconditionally. I'm dedicated to Kemetic learning, the metal netter, and loyal to Ma'at at all times. Last but not least is my good brother Tahuti Most. Tahuti Most is going to be sharing and reading from the book this week. Tahuti Most. Tahuti Most is humbled at the opportunity to be at home in Ma'at with the guidance of Tahuti Amenhotep Ra, the Saba Saba. His quest for the truth, as they call it, has brought him to the facts. In this experience, he has learned and will continue to teach that everyone has the truth, but it is the facts in which the foundation of anything one bases a decision on should rest. This statement has increased his ability to find his place in the cosmos, and that place is here with you as a student of Ma'at. His journey continues to be an interesting and exciting experience. It began in the truths of Catholicism, Christianity, and the Judaism Hebrew religions. Realizing that these truths still left him with many unanswered questions and more confused, he continued his quest and found the facts in Ma'at through the teachings of the Saba Tahuti Amenhotep Ra. to our ancestors. This brother has finally made it home. His interest is first into his family and second in manipulating this matrix to his will. The rest is commentary. He is an ambassador of the teachings of Ma'at and hosts a weekly study guide. Other interests include health and healing, investment vehicles, and teaching the facts of this wonderful existence. In closing, he is very excited to be on this journey with you all and bring peace to this world through Ma'at. As students of Ma'at, we will continue to grow and learn together and be the very best versions of ourselves on this earth as representatives of our ancestors. Hotep Ma'at, Hotep Ma'at. At this time, I'm going to pass the mic to my good brother, Tahuti Mose. And my good brother, Tahuti Mose, is going to begin reading from Stepping Out of the Matrix. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Uh, Thank you, Tua, for that, good brother. I appreciate that, Arcad. If I can be heard, can I get a one? Want to make sure I'm coming in. I'm getting ready to share the screen. Let me do that real quick. Let me share the screen. And don't be surprised at this picture that you see in the screen. You all know this picture. You all are probably very familiar with this picture right here. Let me pop it up real quick. For everybody in the room, if you do not, make sure I'm sharing this. There we go. If you do not have the book Stepping Out of the Matrix Revised, it's a must have. Can you see the screen? Because I can't see it. Everybody can see the screen. You're good to go?
Yes, you are good to go.
All right, great. Okay, here we go. Before I begin to read from this awesome book, Stepping Out of the Matrix, I want you all to take a very, very close look at this picture. This picture right here is an identifying factor of a man. Now, in one way, shape, form, or fashion, some and all of you may have come in contact with this picture or this form of a man. And either this picture or religion itself has been one of the key things that have has hoodwinked, bamboozled, and actually, shackled you. And we're going to read that in the stepping out of the matrix. But this is one of the key things that you must understand. If you're going to step out of the matrix, is you have to deal with this image, this picture. And what I mean by this, and what we've been learning from the Saba to Hudi is this: the Stepping Out of the Matrix book is a book from what we already learned already in the first lesson is about identifying. Now, the majority of us at one time or another identified with this picture right here. But our identity is not this picture right here. And this is one of the things that you're going to learn, and that we're learning in this book, Stepping Out of the Matrix, is that this picture is not our identity. And I want you to pay very close attention and keep this in your imagination, in your mind, as we continue to read on in the Stepping Out of the Matrix, because this is key, not only for yourselves, but for all of those people that you come in contact with in your daily lives. Because a lot of them are still hoodwinked and bamboozled by this face right here, or a form of religion. And we're going to, so let's read, because I think it's vital and important that we understand this. Just remember this face and remember identity. And remember what the Stepping Out of the Matrix book is doing is actually giving your identity back. You see, you're not identifying with this picture, but you're beginning to identify with yourself. And that's the beauty of it. And that's when you can really connect to our ancestors and to our awesome networks. So let's read on. Let's read on. Look at this picture and let's continue to read from Stepping Out of the Matrix. This is actually the depiction of the Caucasian Jesus, which is an outright attack and intentful attempt to remove the image of the black netors, which we just talked about. This hair that they have, according to their Bible, in actuality, would be a disease. This is something that was known to us before slavery, as clearly seen in Leviticus chapter 13, verses 30. Let's read that. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in the sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scald, even a leprosy upon the head or the beard. So, as we can clearly see, yellow thin hair is associated with diseased hair. My goodness. Don't go around telling people in your neighborhood that they have disease because they got yellow hair. We're not into that. We keep mod going. They have tried to hide this fact that they are the ones with yellow, thin hair, but by this tactic, if you have brown hair, you are a what? A brunette. If you have red hair, you are a what? You are a redhead. But if you have yellow hair, then you are yellow headed? Nope. You are a blonde. But why? Simply because they are trying to hide the fact that they have yellow, thin yellow hair. Now think about this. If blonde is a color, then why isn't it used to refer to anything else other than their hair? For example, have you ever heard of blonde paint? I'm a big fan of Home Depot, and I've never heard of blonde paint up in there. Or how about a blonde crayon? Never seen that in preschool either. The answer is no. Their success in making us hate the texture of our own hair resulted in us perming and frying and straightening our hair, which now has us looking like them. You see? Remember we talked about identity? I know down here the men say about the sisters on the block, they say that their hair is fried, dyed, and is laid to the side because they're too busy trying to look just like them instead of being original and natural and having their own, remember what I told you, family, identity crisis. But stepping out of the matrix is revealing that. Let's keep reading. Oh, here we go. Here's some lovely pictures of that look like Britney Spears there. Look at all this blonde hair. Blonde is back, according to them. But look what it says here in the reading here. We have been programmed to imitate a disease. My goodness. I'm going to read that again. We have been programmed to imitate a disease, a dis-ease. Let's keep reading. If you believe in the Bible, now, I would like to make it very clear that I do not teach from what is known as the Bible today. And I did for many, many years. I actually embraced the Bible. I thought the Bible was the king. I thought the Torah was untouchable. But, again, I have stepped out of the matrix, all thanks to the great Saba, Tahuti. I am referring to the Bible because listen to this. I'm going to read this. I'm referring to the Bible because it has been used to enslave people. I'm going to read that again. I'm referring to the Bible because it has been used to enslave people. How many of you at one time or another was enslaved by the Bible? I got my hand up because it's real. The Bible enslaved me. That's why I'm so happy today. I'm so humble today. And I'm just so, at peace with myself today that I can speak to you on this level right now because I have been freed from the bondage and slavery of what? The Bible, with all its attachments and its contradictions, by the way. We're going to read that next, with its many contradictions. I am referring to it here because it would be contradictory to have a book say that yellow thin hair is a curse, but then the Savior of the world prophesied from that book would have yellow, thin hair. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Now look at this picture. Look at the beautiful sisters here. Looks like one of those black hair magazines that you can find in your local Walmart or Target. This magazine is entitled Beautiful Black in Quotes Hair. Yet the women on the cover have brown hair, which is not black in color, and her hair is straightened, which does not represent the texture of a black woman's hair. So ask yourself, what is the message attached to the images like this, where the picture portrays the opposite of the words that are being read? It is a form of mental programming. Remember that image earlier I showed you is a form of mental programming. How many of you are big fans of Good Times? Anybody in the room watch Good Times before? Put up a one if you ever watched some Good Times with Florida and James and JJ and them. And you're big fans. You remember in good times they had this picture on the wall of who? Who's the picture on the wall of? The picture on the wall was the picture of the white Jesus on the wall. And even in their conversations, JJ would question, why we black people, we got the picture of this white. It's all about what? Mental programming. Psychologically, they're doing it. It is a form of mental programming. Back to the reading. The only psychological way one can lie to him or herself is by what? By mentally programming it. And this is why it may seem very difficult at times to get through to some people. Mind you, it's not our place to try to get through to people, number one, because we're too busy working on fixing ourselves. You see, that's part of the mental programming, by the way, is that they want you to go out and be ambassadors for who? That image that I showed you at the beginning. They want you to be ambassadors for who? That religion, whatever attachment, or that's what they want you to do. But as you step out of the matrix, what are we being taught? To begin to focus on ourselves, to begin to look within, to begin to do the inward work so that we can break out of the psychological form of the mental programming that's out there. It's very important that we understand and we begin to identify with ourselves. Very, very important. Very, very important part and pivotal part and in this book that really resonated with me as I read this book, Stepping Out of the Matrix. Very, very important. But a lot of people can't see. They can't see the psychological effects due to the mental programming. They can't even see it. They're not there yet and they're not ready. So what do we have to do? We have to be patient and continue to do what? Work on ourselves and continue to do what? Lead by what? By our actions, our example. That's what we need to do. It may be difficult at times. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but again, these necessary steps must be taken so that people can see. They don't want to hear. They're hearing a lot of stuff already, but they want to see. They want to see you, not hear you. And that's what we're going to do. They're going to see me coming. They're going to see me coming thousands of miles before they even, before they're going to hear me coming thousands of miles before they even see me. Let's keep reading. Some more awesome pictures here. The goddesses below represent our original beauty as seen through their 9 hair. The great brother Ahati talked about this in the first session of our readings. Talked about the 9 hair. We're getting ready to get into that a little bit deeper. But look at these wonderful froze. I remember Arcad talking about in the class on Friday that he actually gave compliments to a female sister that had, her hair fixed up all nice and, just had the 9s kicking. That's beautiful. That's wonderful to do that because, again, due to the mental programming, our women thinking they got to, fry, dye, and lay to the side their hair just to get attention, just to identify. You know what I mean? When if you just stay natural, just stay yourself, stay connected with who you are. But a lot of people don't know that. They don't know their identity. So they keep searching and searching. We'll get into that later on. Let's keep reading. So you see these wonderful pictures here? Beautiful froze on these melanated sisters here. Not ducking the men, because I'm pretty sure, some of you men at one time, I looked at pictures of my father back in the day with his bell bottoms on and his high heel platform shoes and his big old fro. He used to have a big afro as well. So look at all that. Look at all that. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. Beautiful. That's all the 9s. You see the 9s? Look at all that curly hair. Look at all that. Wonderful. Wonderful. There you go, sisters. Bring the froze back. Let's see. Let's keep reading. Our 9 hair represents our divinity, our origin as the mothers and fathers of God on this planet. Which brings us back to us being gods, as was discussed in the introduction of this volume. Now, 9, which is the texture of our hair and also the highest number in existence, was in actuality an ancient Medu symbol. And as we look at the hieroglyphic dictionary here, we see that. You see 1, 2, and 3 here. Look at those nines. You got 3 nines here for set. You got 1 9 here for the measuring cord, or the number 100. My goodness. What are them nines telling us? To keep it what? Keep it 100. Keep it 100, baby. And then look at this one right here. This 9 and number 1 right here is a chord. A chord. Let's keep reading. The spiral, which is the word for fire, this Medu word was stolen and placed into modern day terms that you yourself have used. Think. When you are going to put something on fire, what do you say? Yes, that's right. You set it on fire. Yes, the 3 spirals in Kemet was the ancient word for light, fire, and divine. Beautiful. Beautiful. The Medu Neter, just nothing like it. I'm telling you. It's just nothing like it. And here we go with some more definitions from the hieroglyphic dictionary here. We see set. Set means to what? To light a fire, to burn. It also means it's setet right here. Also, another one is a fire, a flame, a divine fire. Let's keep reading. I tell you, this book is awesome. This is one of the many secrets of the ages. Remember that. This is one of the many secrets of the ages that has been hidden from you for hundreds of years. Let's take a closer look at that ancient word for God. I'm going to stop right there. That's where I'm going to stop. And I'm just going to give you the personal of the effect of this book on my life and what it did for me and what this means for me, because I can only speak for me. I'm not going to sit up here and give you no opinions, but I'm going to tell you what this book has done for me. These readings right here, now I understand what it means. When I look at, I'm going to go back up here, I'm going to scroll back to that face, because I'm going to tell you, for a very long time in my life, going through all these religions, I was looking for an identity. And I know a lot of you, this resonates with you as well. You may be listening to this 10 years later from when we recorded today, but you're looking for an identity. And I want to look you straight in the eye, just like this man in this picture right now is looking you straight in the eye. And I'm going to tell you to take that face off and put your face there, because what they want to do with this face is give you an identity. They want to tell you what your identity is. Don't let them do that. I've been baptized and dinked and dunked so many times in my life, trying to find that and connect with an identity. It's innate within every individual to find out who they are and not to be told who they are. And they're on that path to seek and search and find their identity. This picture right here is not your identity. And this is one of the key factors of breaking out of the matrix, is you have to come into your own identity. And this is why this book is so descriptive on who you are and the characteristics of you, your identity, from your hair. How many of you, when you were growing up, were picked on and they told you like this, man, that boy or that girl got some nappy hair. Anybody ever picked on because you had some nappy hair? Oh, and that reminds me, when I was coming up in school, the thing for us was not the afro, but the thing for us, for the men, was to have waves. How many of you remember the waves? Well, we used to get our little brushes and put our little pomade in there and work on our waves. Not really understand. I mean, we were proud of our waves and wear the wave cap. How many of you remember the wave cap?
Definitely had wave caps.
You remember the wave cap? So you remember those times to identify, because you were trying to identify with something. At the time, I didn't understand. All I was trying to do is preserve my sexy, baby. I'm trying to preserve my sexy, but I didn't have the understanding that I could identify with the waves, but not on a deeper level, like what I'm doing now, what I understand now. Now I'll be able to teach my 3-year-old. I mean, boy, he has some nines for you. I'm telling you, he has some nines for you. But anyway, I'll be able to teach him what the origins of everything. And just like I learned from my other teacher, Ahati, it's important to get into that etymology of every word that we say, so that we can break out of this psychological mind games and tricks that they're playing on us or trying to. But step one is the identity factor. And this is why Saba's teaching us this at this level. It's for us to see and understand who we are. And we're not this picture right here. So we got to take that. I'm getting ready to close, but because I could talk all day, Mr. Bahar. I could just talk, family. But we have to take this face off. How many of you in this room watched this movie called Face Off? It's a great movie. It had Nicolas Cage in it and it had John Travolta. Anybody saw that movie? And this is literally what we're going to have to do in the movie. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell y'all because it's a great movie to go see. But he actually took off his face, put it on the other person's face. He was an FBI agent. He took his face off, put it on the other man's face who was a criminal so that he can infiltrate the criminal underground and find out all this particular information, find out, what they were up to. So he literally had to take his face and put it on another man's face. But in doing that, his whole personality changed. Like they switched personalities because it wasn't only the face, but everything that came with it, the emotions, the feelings, personality. You see, this is the thing that you must understand. It's so very important that as we deal with people who still connected and identify with this face or identify with a religion, is that, you gotta, you're not going to be able to get through to them until they're able to take that face off and then put their face on, their identity, not this face right here. This is fake. This is phony. And this is why people are still so confused today. And you may be asking, well, dang, Tahuti Most, you're right. I'm just so confused. I don't know whether I'm coming or I'm going. It's wise because you're still putting on many different faces and you're not putting your face on. You're not finding your identity. You're searching for some other person's identity. Could be fake, fictitious, phony, whatever, but you're searching for somebody else's identity instead of your own. This is one of the keys to breaking out of the matrix. And this is why it's so important that we understand it. And I see why Saba put this here. And I see why Saba's talking about the Bible, because the Bible, that's where all the religions are connected to the Bible. They all connected to it. Majority of them, either to the Bible or this face right here. You got a lot of people bowing down to that face instead of bowing down to themselves, taking responsibility for themselves. And I'm going to close with this. It's very important that we understand that we have to embrace our own identity. You have to find that for yourself. Jesus, let's face it. How many times have you been praying to Jesus and he actually answered your prayer? Think about that. People waiting on Jesus, they still waiting on him to show up and he still hadn't done anything for them. Meanwhile, they just getting abused and hoodwinked and bamboozled into living a wasted life when they can be the gods and goddesses that they are. But they don't know this. Why? It's because they have not had that relationship with their own identity yet. And it comes with taking off this face. It's all about identifying who you are. That's what it's all about. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to leave it open for questions. And I'll pass the mic. I'll unshare my screen here and turn it back over to the good brother, the scribe, and we'll take it from there. I love you. I love you all. And I look forward to us growing and learning together. Did I unshare the screen? Yeah.
Yes,
good?
you are unshared.
All right.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you all.
Got to give you air horns for that, my brother. That was excellent.
Thank you,
Beautiful,
brothers.
beautiful words, good brother. Powerful.
Yes.
I'm just reading Saba's book. It's Saba's book, man. It's Saba's book. Yeah. It's very, easy for us. We got Saba's book, man. It's easy for us. We just got to, and Shannon, welcome back. We just got to take it on. And you got to round up some more sisters and get them in here with their 9 afros and everything. Get them in here.
Beautiful, yes. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. I the way that, he broke down the 9 there, especially, connecting it to the hair, which everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people know about the Fibonacci, and that's always the main thing we go to, is we call it the Fibonacci. We don't, that's the one thing I love about this book is bringing it back to the origins, and that's what we do. We dig, just like that beautiful bird right there in your background, the Kim. We're gonna dig to the roots and get back to the origins, and so it's definitely beautiful. And I love that one the picture of the magazine that he put up there, showing the black hair, but it's really brown hair, and
Yeah.
it's really straight hair,
Yeah.
and it's just showing these spells that that they're implementing to
Mhm.
hypnotize our beautiful women. But that's why we're here today, to bring this forward and bring this out and start reversing this hypnosis. And yes, sir, you did an excellent job, man. I appreciate those
Okay.
words. So yeah, if any of your brothers have anything to add on.
Yeah, brother. I just want to hotep, hotep. Yeah, I just want to just touch on just a little bit, just about how beautiful we are as a people, and just us not recognizing our beauty. The built-in beauty. It's nothing wrong with you know dressing up and doing nice things and changing your different styles and everything, but it's just a little bit much, to the point where it's that we don't recognize our own beauty, and we think that we associate beauty with something other than ourselves, and that's really sad, especially when you like think about it, the way the Saba broke it down, and to talk about how powerful our beauty is, you know, and what our hair represents. And then it makes sense as to why it's almost a secret, and why we'll do everything to not wear our natural hair, and to not be, you know, really step into our own beauty. Because like I said, it's nothing wrong with, taking care of yourself and changing up, but just our natural beauty, we don't even recognize just the natural beauty within ourselves, and how powerful that is. We associate beauty with every other culture but ourselves. We need to look in the mirror as brothers and sisters and step into our power, recognize the beauty that we have, and step into that. And for me myself, it's a process. It's a daily process of recognizing who we are as netters and stepping into that. It's a daily process because the matrix is so real, and I'm just honored to be up here with you brothers learning. Because for me, it's a learning experience. For me, everything is about learning. And I just want to just shout out to brothers and everyone that's part of the chat. I want to welcome you all to the chat. Thank you for participating last week, this week, the Monday class, the Friday class. If you guys were there Friday for Tahuti's podcast, I mean, that good brother AJ, I mean, his words were so powerful and motivating and inspirational. And this is what we're trying to do, is to motivate and inspire, and to, step out of the matrix, and to bring our people with us. It's a beautiful thing, because if Ahati would not have convinced our brother to teach, none of us would be here. And we wouldn't have access to this beautiful book. So I just want to say how beautiful the book is, and I'm so grateful to be learning from it and to be alongside you brothers. I don't want to be long-winded, but we just got to recognize our beauty and step into it, and appreciate it, because even that's a gift. That's a gift that we have, that was given to us, our beauty, just naturally. So, to all you beautiful souls out there that's participating with us, and all you newcomers, new souls that'll be coming, we welcome you. Hotep Ma'at. I'm going to pass the mic to one of my other brothers.
Peace and love to everybody that's here in the chat. Hotep Ma'at. Um, Salute to Saba, to Huti. Salute to Ahati for everything that they've done so far. And this book is, stepping out of the matrix is an invitation to step into the light. And Saba taught us at our last Metanetter Monday that the the people of Kemet and Ma'at is learning to be a light conscious being. So we are inviting you to step into the light. And so, it's really like, it's heartbreaking, the tactics that are deployed on us to defeat us. And so the Matrix and the Bible is an example white supremacy, right? And white supremacy exists in economics, education, entertainment, law, labor, politics, sex, religion, and war. And so it's just like it's hard, it's hard to think about like Jamaicans using, I think they use like this cake soap to bleach their skin. And then in the book, he has the picture of Lil Kim, who's like from Brooklyn, is part of hip hop. And like all of our sisters are getting like these BBLs, these Brazilian butt lifts. Y'all already got booty. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be crass, you know what I mean? But for a people to not want to be themselves when you are the original people, it's like, it's heartbreaking. It's crazy. And of course, our sisters are the mother of creation, and then the brothers, we are who we are. And so the attacks, and to see the effects of white supremacy and the Bible, it's kind of hard to see what they've done to our people. But and the contrast is, we have these teachings, we have what Saba has dedicated his life for 30 years. Oh my God, I can't commit to doing stuff for 3 minutes. So it's really beautiful, all the work that he's put in. Salute to Ahati, like you said, Arcad, to get him to be teaching again, because we need these teachings. Like, the pandemic was like rough. We already were going through it. And then the pandemic was like, that was like hard. And so it's special, it's powerful that we have this opportunity to learn and to step out of the matrix and step into the light. And so thank you to Hudimos for reading. Thank you, Arcad, for being the chair. Thank you, brothers, for being here. And it's a great pleasure to be here today and to be talking about these issues. And I'll pass.
I want to first say, very proud of you, brothers. You're showing great consistency and dedication. And that's usually hard to come by when something is started as brand new, because it takes a lot of strength. And I'm a firm believer that strength can only come from within. As AJ said, within your heart, or somebody commenting on what AJ spoke about, because we could tell he wasn't faking what he was speaking. It was genuine because it came from his heart. And that is the essence of Ma'at. And I believe that as long as we follow Ma'at, we will not go astray, our families will not go astray, and the people that are watching us and implementing what Saba's teaching and what we're speaking on tonight will not go astray. I'm a firm believer of that because I've lived it and still living it. Brother Tahudimos, it's a great honor to see somebody that was a rabbi putting up hieroglyphs, or what's called the Merunetter. I don't know any other circumstance. I don't know any rabbis from all over the world. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. So you're here making history, brother. I commend you for your consistency because you're very consistent. And I look forward to your growth and expansion, because that's what the consciousness is all about. It's about expanding what we can't see within Tahuti Moses' mind, and then seeing it on days like this and Fridays and Metanetter class and so on and so forth. Yeah, this was a deep one for me initially. I actually put notes, and so I drink coffee. I don't know the intricacies of coffee, but I know that Starbucks had roasts, like blonde roast, because Tahuti talked about there's no blonde crayon or blonde paint. Well, there's a blonde roast at Starbucks, okay? So for many years, I'm getting a dark. I like strong coffee, so I'm getting a dark roast because in my consciousness, dark is strong. I'm thinking about genetics. The dominant gene is what we call dark skinned people, or the most melanated genes are the strongest genes, and the weakest genes are the recessive genes, or what we know as the Caucasian genes. So this is in my consciousness for many years. And it's interesting because one day I'm like, wow, this light roast, or blonde roast as they call it, is stronger than the dark roast. What's going on here? So I actually talked to one of these barista sisters and asked her the question, and she had to train and learn about all this stuff. She said, yeah, that the blonde roast is a stronger roast than the dark roast. And logically, that just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make any type of sense, and it still doesn't to this day. But that's what it is. This is just a tiny, tiny example of the hypnotic effect that's going on. So when Saba teaches about hypnosis, when I speak on hypnosis, we are being 100% serious. The game is for our mind and our mental state. That's why it's very important to see images like we did in my book here. I have an image of, I didn't see it on Tahuti Moses' image, but I have an image of the sisters confronting the Tamahu. And I don't know if this can go on camera, okay? But if you look closely, it says, "Shut the F up, white boy." That's very powerful to me. If I could find one sister like that, what do we got to do? What do we got to do? They're at their job there. If you look at that picture again in your own book, they're at some corporate job that their sisters are at.
Go ahead,
And,
Shannon. Go ahead, Shannon.
and the sisters, that work in these jobs usually are supporting the Tom who's the most. So that was very powerful to me, because we get sisters in those positions. There's no telling what we can do. Yes, the movement is, these book studies are to teach us to start honoring our sisters again, so that they can start teaching our children, so the next generations don't have to do what these gentlemen and I are doing on the panel here. That's my whole motivation for doing this. It's not for me exclusively, and it's not for anyone else on this panel exclusively. It's for your children. To those of you that are listening to this today, a month from now, years from now, I created this for the children. That's what I care about the most. That they don't have to go through what each one of us would rather be doing other stuff than having to go into a job or doing things we don't want to do in this matrix, but we're forced to do it because we're put into a survival mode. If there's a way we could build something where we don't have to be in the survival mode, we would be doing this all day. And ironically, this is exactly how the ancestors lived. This is exactly how the ancestors lived. The ancestors lived by building their consciousness, because the most important thing you can do for yourself is to grow and advance that light energy that's within you. I'm telling you, that's the greatest thing that I was taught by Saba, was to grow and advance that light energy in you. And how do you do that? You start using the tools that the Tamahu thinks we're too ignorant to use, and implementing them into our consciousness when we're not on panels like this, where we're trying to reinforce it for you. So what do I mean? I always suggest this, and I'll keep suggesting this until I die. Get the app, the online etymology dictionary. Excuse me. Get the online etymology dictionary and start looking up words that come into your mind that don't make any sense. So for me, I look up blonde, okay? Or I look up this word over here that Tahuti most said that just doesn't make sense to me. And you'll know when, and you put it in, and sure enough, what the person is telling you the meaning of it, what the person is saying the meaning is not the real meaning. So now you have the truth, because the truth is in the origin of things. And there's only one truth. So the truth is, AJ gave a speech from his heart, and we all saw that. If somebody comes along and say, no, AJ scripted that, and you're, okay, show us the script that he wrote. See? So we want to do that with everything. And while we're doing that, we cannot be fooled any longer. But yes, this book study is a great tool to utilize. These brothers here are available too. You don't always have to come to me. These brothers are here too. They're open to discussion outside of here as well. And I'm sure the scribe will put our information somewhere, and you can reach out to them too, because that's another thing. We all have different perspectives. Saba has his perspective. I have my perspective. Arcad has his perspective. AJ has his there he is perspective. The scribe has his perspective. Tahuti Mos has his. So whichever one you feel comfortable with, you reach out to them. You know, because I'm not always going to say something that's going to resonate with you. Yes, brothers. So that's it for me. That's what I got out of it. If you want to move on with the book study, Arcad.
Yeah, I want to open the chat up for any questions. Anybody in the chat want to join us? Scribe will put the link in the room. We had a beautiful sister come on last week. She would like to come back on and share something, or anybody else in the chat. Don't be shy.
If people don't come on, then brothers, just share. Just you don't have to give every detail. Just share what you're doing within this movement to show the people that we're doing things behind the scenes. But just share briefly if nobody comes on.
Well, Mondays, I'm definitely looking forward to the Monday Meta class. I really enjoy that. I got a lot of questions from last week. I've been studying really, really, really intense. And I got a lot of questions for Saba on Monday. That class is amazing. It's opening up my perspective, just the way I think, seeing the different definitions for words and how the words how they connect and the deeper meanings to the words is it's incredible. It is like incredible. I actually last week after the Monday class, I was studying and I had a work meeting I was supposed to go to. And I went outside just to kill a little time. I was going to do a little bit of reading and studying, and I totally forgot about the meeting. Missed the whole meeting, the whole hour. I came back inside thinking like I got to do something. In my mind, I'm thinking it's something important I got to do. It's something important I got to do. My wife came home with the kids. I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot to go to work. I was supposed to go to a meeting. That's how deep I was with studying the Maronata. It's like at first it's really, really challenging, which it is very challenging, but when you learn something and it clicks, it gets me really excited. And I don't know, I'm kind of weird like that because it's almost like the more I don't understand it, the more exciting it is for me. Especially when if it's something that I'm interested in learning, like the Maronata. It's very, very interesting, and I'm so hyped up, so hyped up about it because it's like, you know, like the brother was talking about the our beauty and our nine hair. It's like I'm learning all of this stuff that we didn't know, like that was kept hidden from us. It's like hidden in plain sight. And like the brother was talking about the importance of reading and just digging deep and reading. It's studies under the master teacher Saba.
Hey Shannon, if you can mute your YouTube in the back. Nice to see you again, sister.
Welcome, sister. I'm gonna let you talk, sister. Go ahead. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, sister. You could talk.
Okay.
You got the floor, Shannon.
Can you hear us?
Scribe, unmute her. She's muted.
No, she has
Hey,
her
before
YouTube.
she goes, let me say something. I forgot to add this to the donators last week because I see one of them now. Reminded me, True Seeker 22, and E Manifesto. We really appreciate your donations. I forgot to mention you last week. Thank you to and True Seeker. You're welcome to come on too, if you like. Okay. There she is. Does her mic work?
Shannon, can you hear us?
Oh,
Unmute
she
your
has to
mic if you can
unmute.
hear us.
She has to unmute her microphone. Your microphone's muted.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Hello?
Okay.
I can hear you now. Can you guys hear me?
Hey, yes. Do
Yes.
you?
Do you?
Do,
Can
you have a?
hear us?
There's an
Okay,
echo.
yeah, I can hear you now. Hello? I can hear you
Shut
now.
your
Can you guys
speaker.
hear
Your
me?
speaker on the YouTube channel. Mute that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you mute your YouTube, and then you can unmute yourself on the live stream, then it won't echo.
Yes. Shout out to
Did I get
Truth
it?
Seeker.
You did. Sounds
Yes.
great.
Yeah. Okay,
Perfect.
perfect. Sorry about the technical difficulty, but peace to everybody. Really happy to be here. The lesson that you gave was great. I have my book right here. I was following along, and all the pictures are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, basically I just really appreciate the platform that you guys created, place to get together and talk about these teachings. I think every day, we have the opportunity to have conflict with people, and I experienced some of that this week, and I just thought, like, that's not my energy. I'm not going to engage in arguing with people, or like even kind of like defending myself. It's just not my energy. It's not worth my time, and just let them go in peace.
Yes, I agree with that 1,000%. Got to protect your energy at all times, at all costs.
Right, because I feel that the more you more you feed into negative energy, the more negative energy there is that you're creating in it, just in your sphere, and just in the world, period.
Right. Let me ask
Yeah.
you a question, Shannon. What school of thought do you come from? Were you a Christian before?
No, I actually have no Bible studies, no background in any religious studies at all. I've always been very spiritual, very metaphysical, very, like, I just always wanted to go towards spirit and what called me. And yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm basically just like studying anything that I can get my hands on, any materials that I can get my hands on, any groups that I vibe with. And if it's my energy and I'm really feeling it, like, that's, the reason that I'm here, because I really feel like, I was telling Ahati, that Ma'at's teachings are something that I've been doing all of my life without even really knowing it's an actual thing.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
believe,
awesome.
yeah, I believe in living a balanced, peaceful life. And I'm a mother as well. And these are the teachings that I've raised my son with. And now that he's an adult, he has a balanced, peaceful way of handling himself and his interactions in the public.
Yeah, that's
What
great.
do you think?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Arcade.
son.
How's
No,
he adult when you only 13, Shannon?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm gonna be turning 30 43 next month. So I'll be 43 next month. So yeah.
okay, awesome. No, I was just gonna ask, what did you think about the book? Have you gone through the whole book?
I haven't gone through the whole book. I got up. I'm around the part that we were studying today, like around the hair part.
Okay.
And I thought that was really awesome, to Hoodie Most, your breakdown, because I was actually like right in that part.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So do you guys have any questions for me or anything?
No, just thanking you for coming on the panel and showing your face, showing up, showing
Absolutely.
up
Absolutely. I believe
tags.
in
Thank you, Shannon. Tua Shannon.
peace. I believe in energy exchange, and if I can make it to to see everybody in person, I'll show face. So thank you for having me on here.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
participating in on.
Peace.
We appreciate you.
All right, peace. Awesome.
Right.
I think Cash Peden was in here. He was Cash Peden. Are you there? You don't have to say much, brother. You could just say I'm Cash Peden, and then you could take off. We just want to see people's faces in the community and hang out with Tahuti's podcast. That's what this is about, brother. It's about fellowship. We're not going to judge you. We don't need a long monologue from you. We don't need a Tahuti most breakdown from you. We just want to see you. That's it, brother. So, actually, we did see you. We saw you in the Meta class, so it's not going to be first.
Yeah.
You know who I want to see? I want to see Heka Kepara.
There he is.
He's hiding in the chat somewhere. Oh, here he is. Heka Kepara, the good brother.
Peace, brother.
My uncle right there.
His uncle. Yes, indeed. Peace to the class.
Peace.
Peace.
Just wanted to show my face and give thanks out to Hootie for life-altering information. I have so much to unlearn that the things that AJ said, I think it was Art Infinite that said about making time for things that are most important to you, that really hit home. I kind of got in here late, so I missed the class, but I'm getting ready to get on a flight and go out of town. So
what's up, guys?
That's my son.
Hey, peace.
Hotep.
There he is.
What's up? Peace to you guys.
So it's usually myself and my son is just really enjoying this information. Somebody posted in the chat a couple of minutes ago that they were doing it for the youth, and I think that's most important. Make sure that he's unlearning and not learning the wrong things at a younger age than what I did. So I'm appreciative to all you guys on the panel, man. The work is amazing. The site is amazing. Incredible. And I'm glad we have a platform where we actually have a movement that I can attach myself to. So I'm just thankful to everybody, and especially to Saba for, like I said, just life-altering information. That's about it. I just wanted to show my face and say thanks, guys.
Tua, we appreciate you.
Tua, good brother. Tua.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Safe travels.
Yes.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Yes.
Oh yes, and Heka Kepara, before you go, I seen you asked about the Monday classes being on the website. We will eventually add it to there, but just for now, just email Saba Tahuti, and I'll post his email in the chat so you can join in on that class with us.
Yeah, I have talked to him about it, and he was trying to do some technical things that hadn't quite worked out yet. So I'm just being patient until he gets it up. But I was just curious because I am on the site, and I see that these classes are here, so I can catch this on the flight tonight. Hopefully, if it's posted already, and I'll just be patient until he gets it up. I told him that in the email as well.
Yes. Right. Peace to you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Heka Kepara, does your son want to say peace or what's up, or can we get a little introduction, brother?
Yeah, of course. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Justin, so I go by Son of Kepara. I tune in with him, and it's definitely life-changing as well. Like you said, it's just a lot of things to unlearn, and it's a lot of things that you just don't know. So I'm very appreciative of just hearing of just Tahuti and what you guys have to offer. So I'm definitely going to tune in and just be consistent with it. So peace to you guys, and Tua, and thank you.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to let you brothers know, if you ever at any time want to reach out to us, anytime. The door is open. If you need emails, just reach out to us. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Hot. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. So Cash Peter said he's trying to get on, but his Wi-Fi is a little slow. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, brothers. Yes, it was an excellent class today. It was amazing. I love seeing, new faces come up here. So, it's always awesome, to see people interact and join in with us, because the
Yeah.
movement growing is expanding, and it
Nice.
can be visual. Like when you can see it visually, it becomes more real for people.
There he
Man,
is.
yes,
That's
sir.
who we're doing it for, right there.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
indeed.
That's great. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Heka Kepara said a movement. Um, yeah, we're definitely moving. Um, I mean, we can't really say what we're doing behind the scenes too much, but what I'm saying is, these brothers that you see here are putting in serious work right now, because none of us, like I said, want to live in the matrix 9 to 5 any longer. We want to do what we want to do for the betterment of Tahuti Moses' son up there, and also for your son too. And we can't do that if most of our time is dedicated to them. And I understand. I believe me. I'm not saying you got to quit your job some more. What I'm saying is just incrementally, little by little, you will start rejecting, and then wow, I'm doing more of what I want to do, and there's no fear than what they want me to do, because that's part of it too. Is to take up all your time, your mental capacity, so you have no time to
Right.
study. Because you know how when you read through the Meta Netter, I mean, sometimes I fall asleep. It's very draining energetically, so you can't really study when you're exhausted working a 9 to 5 all the time. So, but yes, it's definitely movement. I have definitely a lot of plans for all of us if you want to join. And eventually, this is just a stepping stone. Eventually, like Shannon said, it's to get off of the virtual reality thing and meet in person. And we will figure out a way, because we figured out a way to come together. Excuse me, to come together today and the rest of the time that we come together. I'm going to be honest. AJ mentioned something. I can't be consistent for 3 minutes, I believe he said. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is one of the major keys, is consistency, even if it's just a little bit. And I learned this through working out. So I would just do a little bit more, little bit. I'm not trying to impress anybody, show off with the ego, just a little bit. I'm not going to eat as much cake today, little bit. And then you wake up one day and you don't even want the cake anymore. You reject it. You see what I mean? Because your brain gets used to whatever we're feeding it. And this was known as the UN, or the UN. You could look this up in I'm not going to give you the page. You could look this up in your hieroglyphic dictionary. It's called the UN, which pertains to Osiris, which deals with existence. But it literally means to feed, and it means to think. So whatever I'm thinking about the most is what I'm going to project out into my reality here. And it's literally, it's none of this vision board. I make a vision board. I look at the vision board, and I just think that I'm the best basketball player in the world. And I go out there after 6 months and I try to act like Michael Jordan. And I fail. No, I don't know the time when you will change into whatever you want to be, but it will happen because you're being consistent. So, and then that is part of the hat and ka. That's part of the heka. That's a great thing about this. None of the, you don't have to be David Blaine to do any of this stuff. You don't have to be Chris Angel. You just got to be you. That's it. And you got to always come be real with your heart. So if you don't like something, tell them. Say something. If you love something, tell the person, because encouragement is feeding us. It's feeding us. And I know as black men, not these black men, but black men as majority have to see us doing this consistently, constantly, because we've been taught that it's wrong to feed each other's identities with encouragement and positivity. I love it. I get a rush out of it, actually, to be honest. But if you see a different perspective than I do, you're going to see me as being arrogant, haughty. All these words made up that I could show you at another time mean nothing. Throw them in the trash. Because there's a time somebody like Tahuti Amenhotep Ra would have golden statues built to him, and he would be bowing in front of the statue. I would be behind him bowing in front of the statue, and all of you would be behind us bowing in front of the statue, and nobody is saying, "Look at that up there acting." There was none of that, none of that energy. It was non-existent, and so that's what we're trying to recreate now in a 2000 way. We're not trying to replicate it exactly. That's impossible, but we can use that consciousness to replicate it in our own way in this day and time. And that's another thing I believe that the ancestors will assist us with, because for so long, I was just looking at Uncle Moon on my wall. For so long, they've been disrespected, and there hasn't been anybody like us, including Heka Kepra and his son, and Tahudimos and his son. There hasn't been any first, second generations hanging out together, trying to be a part of something that's never been done before in history. And I know I go over this always because I have to get into your consciousness. We can make our own history. I mean, really make it, but we can never make it being 1% in their history or their mindset. So we have to be either all the way in or all the way out. There's no straddling the fence. All the way in or all the way out. And only you can make that decision. I can't make it for you. I'm all the way in. And it's a lot of these brothers I spoke to personally, they know what I mean. I'm going I'm going to the end. Because I love Ma'at, I love Tahuti, and I love myself that much. So
Yes.
all right.
We do have a donation that I would like to share.
Nice.
Truth Seeker 22. Yes, Truth Seeker, I will get back to you. Thank you, my brother. Shout out for this right here, Matthew
Tua,
McDowell.
Tua.
Appreciate you. Tua. Yeah, I've been out the country for the past week. So thank you for your patience, and I will get back to you in the email very, very soon, within the next 2 or 3 days. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for your support for the movement. And we definitely appreciate you.
And I just want to say something also, that just because Truth Seekers donating or other people donate with money, we need people to help us in service too. So it doesn't have to just be money. If you have a skill, we need you. If you can help, let's say the scribe, he needs help doing something on a website and he doesn't have time, we need your help. We need everybody. It's not just us doing this and that's it. This is a communal thing. We can't do it without the sons, the daughters, the mothers, and the fathers. We need everybody. That's what we're building here. So it doesn't have to. I just want to make that clear, that it doesn't have to just be money. What we're really looking for is skills and time. Skills and time.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. I know one thing that Saba Tahuti taught me that I didn't know about prior to him teaching it to me was in Kemet, there was no currency system. Everything was always built off reciprocity.
Yes. The closest thing they had to a currency is what's now being called a national barter system, where they use weights and measures. So depending what you needed, we would allocate something for you as long as you reciprocated it back in return with something that I needed. And it worked beautifully because it didn't create a class system. That's why people to this day and age think the pharaohs like kings of England and they're lording over the people, and they're not. No, the pharaohs and the Sioux had to know and mingle around the people just as much as the guy that's working on the buildings or cultivating the field, the farmer, everybody. And this is so dangerous to a society that we were born into, because you can't build a class system to stay divided all the time amongst one another. So we're always focused on the wealthy, we're always focused on the poor, the middle class, and we can never come together. But in Kemet, everybody was enmeshed, and it was built off of a reciprocated image from above, from Lightland. As above, so below. That's one of the principles. So what was going on up in Lightland was happening down in Kemet. Yeah, it was beautiful. I can see it now. It's beautiful. I'm actually trying to create that now. That because what happens is now you eliminate homelessness. You eliminate the drug addiction. So we could take on drug addicts. We could take on homelessness. The only thing is, The only thing is they have to be able to follow Ma'at. We can't do this without Ma'at. And I'm going to make this very clear again. Anyone can. I've not seen this done without Ma'at, because what happens is the matrix comes back in and you're trying to take, greed and all that stuff. But yes, we have all of us on the panel here, even Cash Peden, we have an opportunity to help our people in a way that's never been done and keep it long standing, because there's people on this panel right now, including myself, they used to smoke every day. They used to do drugs every day. They used to drink every day. And they're not doing it anymore once they got the teachings. So I'm going to give it to Cash Peden because I want to hear what you have to say, brother. Cash Peden, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cash Peden, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
Mike, check the Cash Peden.
Oh, his Wi-Fi. His Wi-Fi is probably slow.
You're muted. If unmute your mic, Cash Peden.
Cash Peden, you're muted. You're muted. There you go. What's up, brother?
Peace, fam.
Peace.
Peace, bro.
There he is.
Peace, Cash P. Hotel.
I made it. Hotep. How's everybody doing? I know y'all all doing well. I'm doing all right this evening.
Wonderful.
Okay.
It's an echo.
Do you have the YouTube in the background? Make sure that's muted.
Yeah, I had it on the TV.
Oh, okay, perfect. So how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. I've been working all day, working like a slave, but I've been working. But I finally got some time to rest and come to the class and go over the book with you guys. So it was pretty cool. Turned out just the way I wanted.
All right, great. Have you were you able to catch the study from the beginning?
Nah, I came. I think I was like 20 minutes late, y'all.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's perfect. That's a great thing about YouTube is we can always rewind it back.
Right.
All right, so we appreciate you coming up here and showing your face. That's what this is about. So if any of you brothers have any last words that you would like to get out before we close out the stream, now would be the time to do so. Feel free.
I just want to welcome everybody to the chat. Everybody for coming up on the panel. Thanking you, brothers, for coming up and showing your support. We appreciate you. I know Tahuti appreciates you, definitely. Appreciates all of us. Yeah, I just want to say I'm just honored to learn alongside all of you brothers. Even you new brothers that's coming up to the panel. I'm just honored to learn with you brothers. Like that brother said, we got a lot to unlearn and a lot to learn. So welcome to the journey, brothers. We can do it. We can win as a team. So I'm not going to hold you guys. We're going to close it out with the affirmation as we do. And you going to play the video after the affirmation, or I'm going to do it the affirmation first? I'll do the affirmation.
Let's do the affirmation and then the video.
Okay. All right. Otep my Unki and my UNS I live for my I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious
light.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up to our book study and supporting us. We invite you guys to all come out and to our Monday Metaneta class with Saba. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next Friday and Monday. Peace and blessings to everybody.